What up, though? Don't despise small beginnings. So when I think about my experience at McDonald's, I always think about what lesson did you learn while at McDonald's? What did you get from that experience or whatever? And I learned a lot of lessons from working at McDonald's. I learned, number one, to humble myself. I learned a phenomenal work ethic. I learned to work smarter, not harder. But the most important lesson that I learned while working at McDonald's is business, never personal. And I say that because while I was working at McDonald's, man, I worked so hard. Like I feel like I was the best worker at the location that I was at. No matter what position that I was in the restaurant, I always did my best. If you put me on the grill, I had the grill clean, I had it organized, and I was always ready for the rush. If you put me on the line, again, it was fully stocked. Whenever the rush came, I'm ready to do 20 McDoubles and 20 McChickens. If you put me in the back window, I had a smile in my voice, and I always had an upbeat personality through the speaker. So when people pull it up, they like, yo, you in a good mood. They're like, yo, why are you even working here? Like, you should be working somewhere else. But I remember talking to the general manager. I'm like, yo, I want to be a manager, man. I want to be a manager. I'm doing all of these managerial jobs. I'm unloading the truck. I'm relieving people. I'm working the front window, the back window, the front cash register. I'm doing everything. I want to be a manager. And the general manager, I felt like he was playing me. I felt like he would not give me an opportunity. He kept giving me these excuses after excuses. And finally, they put me in a management program. And then they made other people managers before me. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I was heated. I was pissed. I'm like, yo, dude is hating on me. They using me. They don't want me to be a manager. And shortly thereafter, the general manager got fired. I came into work one day, they're like, yeah, he got fired. And as I thought about it, I was like, you know what? In this big picture, he was a pawn. He was a small piece in the game of chess. He was expendable. They were willing to sacrifice him. And it turns out that he was supposed to do certain numbers, and when it came time for them to look back and see how he did, he wasn't able to do what he said that he was going to do, so they let him go. Now, most people, they was happy that he got fired. They like, yeah, I ain't like him anyway. But, I thought about it like, he has a family. He had a company car. He had benefits. He got people that he taking care of, and I wasn't so much happy that he got fired. But I thought about it like, you know what? It's business, never personal. So that's when I began to start looking for another job, because I knew my opportunities to become a manager was shot. I had to start this whole process over that I had going with him for 6 to 8 months with a brand new individual who didn't know anything about my work ethic. So I just learned to when you get a job, keep looking for another job. And finally, I did find another job. I got hired at Applebee's. And surprisingly, I was still working at McDonald's, but I was making like twice the money that I was making at Applebee's as I was at McDonald's. So I put in my 2-week notice. I ain't just quit. I could have just quit and been like, you know what, bump y'all. Like, I'm done, I quit. I'm leaving right now. No, I put in my 2-week notice. I kept it professional. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know how to put in a 2-week notice. I went to the manager like, yeah, I'm putting in my 2-week notice. Like this today, 2 weeks from now, I'm quitting. He was like, yo, you gotta write it down on a piece of paper. You gotta type it up or something and give it to me. I'm like, oh, all right. Typed it up, gave it to him. I finished out my 2 weeks. And on the last day, I went to the new manager and I said, thank you for this opportunity. I greatly appreciate it. Because there's no need to burn bridges that you might have to cross again one day. So what I want you to get from this whole thing is that it's business, never personal. If you don't like your job, go look for another job. Find another job. Find something better. If you've outgrown your position, then it's time for you to move on to something new. Don't come to work complaining every day like, I don't want to be here. I don't like this job. Look at how they doing me. No, it's business, never personal. Do what you got to do and move on to the next level. I hope that this touched somebody. Thank you for listening.